Hey guys, and welcome to the world of Obsidia, where you get to watch my reactions and reviews of things that relate to my many passions, including animation, cartoons, anime, K-drama, and K-pop. Originally, my very first impression review was supposed to be Mob Psycho 100, but while skimming through YouTube, I got a recommendation that I am really glad I clicked on. A hidden gem in all its BL-loving typical reverse harem glory. I'm talking about Watashi ga Motete Dosunda, otherwise known as Kiss Him, Not Me. Forgive me if I butchered that name, but I'm going to hit these names as closely as I can, so bear with me. Now, I have to say, normally, I'm not a big fan of harem anime. There are very few in number on my list of favorites. First look and you'd think that this particular anime would follow the same formula. Girl starts out average, below average, she gets some kind of transformation or whatever and ends up in some kind of circumstance with which she is surrounded by hot guys. Eventually she ends up falling for one of them, and this is normally the hot-headed jerk or bad boy, and this has been the outcome since the dawn of time. But while watching the first episode, I realized that Kiss Him Not Me is unique, and for the first time I see a harem that might actually break the formula that has been followed for so many years. Kae Serenuma is a second-year high schooler and an avid fujoshi who secretly ships her classmates Igarashi-kun and Nanashima-kun. The death of her favorite anime character causes her to become stressed and lose weight rapidly in just 1 week because anime logic. Now that Serenuma has become an attractive girl to her classmates, her snarky kohai Shinomiya-kun and her senpai Mutsumi and others are now giving her a lot of attention. How is she going to deal with them with her constant BL-filled fujoshi mind? Kae Serenuma is the protagonist of the series, and she does have a trait about her that makes her stand out more than any other female lead character I've seen in most reverse harems. She's a fujoshi. Now, for those of you who don't know what a fujoshi means, or what it is, it's simply a self-mocking Japanese term used for female fans of manga and novels that feature romantic relationships between men. You might have heard of this in another terms, such as yaoi, or yao, however you'd like to say it. When we are first introduced to Kae, she's seen as an eccentric, chubby young girl with an obsession with BL, or boy love. She doesn't receive a lot of respect from her peers aside from her close friend Amane Nakano, who is also a fujoshi, and her senpai Mutsumi. What I like most about Kae is that despite the mockery she receives from other students or her chubby exterior, she seems to be pretty content with herself and her life. She's not worried about how she looks, and she really doesn't care what others think of her so long as her world is filled with BL goodness. Honestly, this trait of hers is what kept my attention in the first place and had compelled me to further watch the show. Next we have Nozomu Nanashima. He is one of Kae's classmates and Igarashi's best friend. Have you ever read those shoujo mangas where the protagonist has a chance encounter with some guy and admires him initially, but she quickly learns how much of an asshole he can be? Of course, only to later have a glimpse of his more sensitive side, thus falling in love with him and ditching the nice guy. Well, in a typical shoujo manga, Nana would be that guy. We get an impression of his personality when he decides to suddenly, unnecessarily mock Kae in front of the entire classroom, which was an immediate turnoff for me personally, but Kae doesn't seem fazed at all, and it's simply because she sees Nana as another player in her fujoshi mind. Not to mention the guy looks like her all-time favorite character, Shion. However, it's not until Kae loses weight does he pay her any attention, which I think is horrible. And even then, it kind of feels like he is only pursuing her because Igarashi shows interest in her as well, but that's just me. Now, it's only been 3 episodes, so I can't go too hard on Nana yet, as most of the time these kinds of characters have some kind of development as the story progresses. So I'm hoping that over the course of time, he's able to give us some redeeming qualities. Yusuke Igarashi is another one of Kae's classmates and is Nana's best friend. He's popular with the girls and is part of the soccer or football team. Honestly, I have mixed feelings about Igarashi. He seems like he's genuinely a nice guy, but at the same time I can't help but feel like there was more to him than meets the eye. When it comes to Nana, Igarashi seems to be the polar opposite. While Nana was quick to openly mock Kae in front of others, Igarashi was quick to stop Nana and put him in his place, even going so far as to apologize to Kae for Nana. Nanashima is impulsive and quick to anger, whereas Igarashi seems to be calm and hard to anger. However, he can be daring and straightforward. He wasted no time in telling the others that he wished to go to the festival alone with Kae. He was also brave enough to hold Kae's hand during Shinomiya's play, stating confidently,
"Yep."
I don't know. Something just seems off about him. Sure, he was nice to Kae before, but I don't believe it was because he held any affections for her, if not out of pity and good show of face. And while I want to say he is a good guy compared to Nana, he too didn't really try to pursue Kae until she lost weight. I guess I'll just have to keep watching to find out more about this guy. Hayato Shinomiya is a first year who is a part of the nursing committee. If anything, I see this character as a mini Nana. Honestly, his personality is very similar to Nana's, which is probably why the two butt heads so much. The only difference being is that Shinomiya is younger and struggles with trying to look more manly in the eyes of his crush. If Nana was asshole number 1 in the first episode, Shinomiya was asshole number 2. Kae awakens in the infirmary after getting knocked unconscious during gym. After a few exchanges with her best friend Amane, the first year enters and states that someone is in need of the bed that Kae is occupying. When Kae willingly gets up and goes to leave with Amane, Shinomiya says coldly, "You look completely fine to me." You could tell that he is being rude, and it even causes Kae's friend to speak up. But of course, once again, Kae doesn't care. She just sees Shinomiya playing the role of the bratty tsundere in her Fujoshi world, and upon being told this, Amane is sucked in as well and relishes the moment with her friend. Yet again, when Kae loses weight, we see Shinomiya suddenly having a change of heart and treating her more kindly. Normally, I like the bratty tsundere roles in yaoi, and the fact that he's a young boy wishing to become a manly man is just the icing on the cake. But this isn't a yaoi, it's a shoujo. I don't really have much to say about him because it's basically the same as my thoughts for Nanashima. Moving on. Asuma Mutsumi, yes! Asuma is Kae's senpai and club president in the history club. A kind-hearted young man who's mostly oblivious to the romantic vibes around him. He's the only person amongst the 4 boys who liked Kae before her makeover. He's normally a laid-back and gentle person, although he can become aggressive when someone picks on Kae. Now, if this was your typical shoujo manga, Asuma would definitely be the nice guy in my opinion, because he's just too perfect for the female lead. He knows Kae better than the other boys, a man of patience. He knows what to say to her and how to say it. And what makes this character even more awesome is he's not even really trying to compete with Nanashima and the others. He's just kind of going along for the ride. Kaya even explains to Asuma that he always knows how to make her feel comfortable. Of course, this statement is debunked when he actually offers to feed her. Now, does he like Kaya? I really don't know. So far, it looks like he doesn't, only seeing Kaya as a little sister figure who knows, he might actually favor her more than he's letting on. Sadly, as much as I would want him to end up with Kaya, I know for a fact that it's not going to happen. If it does, then I will definitely be shocked, but I don't plan on getting my hopes up. So far, I am loving this anime. The animation in this is beautiful. I've fallen in love with the music and the OP and ending credits. This show is hilarious with its anime references and crazy situations. The female lead is actually kind of likable in my opinion. The show can be extremely relatable to those who harbor a love for yaoi or even K-pop boy bands, because if you have been a part of a K-pop fandom for a boy band, then you know the ships are real. So far, it's getting a 9 out of 10 for me, and I will continue watching this to see how it plays out. Until then, folks, Obsidia out.